first big summer of concerts that we did at Caramoor was with Sir Alexander Gibson, and it was an all Brahms season. And some of these musicians had never played Brahms symphonies. So it was an amazing experience of them all coming together. They called it Camp Caramoor from the very beginning. And for them it was just magical being able to be up there and for the first time creating orchestral music, because they were all chamber music players, which brought a completely different aesthetic to the orchestral playing. And we never looked back.
Caramoor was really the birthplace of the orchestra. It was kind of a mom and pop organization at that time, and it had very much that feel. And yet I think the spirit of it remains, the spirit of chamber music, bringing that to the orchestral setting. And also the spirit of collaboration. We've had a series of music directors or principal conductors, but we've always felt that we were inviting them to join us and making things happen.
To have these really wonderful conductors in front of it to help it find the right interpretations and to get it to work the best way it possibly could was absolutely invaluable. And the fact that we were there all summer long, and we were doing the children's programs, we were doing chamber music, we were doing orchestral music. So you had this incredible breadth of musicality that was going on under the tutelage of some really phenomenal conductors and soloists. And that was an amazing education for the orchestra. But for the first 3 years, it still didn't have a name. It was the Caramoor Festival Orchestra. And then eventually we realized that it did need to become its own creature. And we ended up calling it the Orchestra of St. Luke's.
I mean, we have a core of people that have been here, in many ways. I mean, if you look around at the other, even major orchestras in this city and other cities, there's been far more turnover and change, and there's a lot more. One thinks of St. Luke's as a so-called freelance orchestra, but when you look at the personnel, you realize a lot of us have been here for 30 plus years.
And I remember in the early days, one of the then trustees of Caramoor would open her house, and the musicians were invited to go there to picnic and to swim in her pool. And when you have musicians who are allowed to relax like that and be social and are accepted on that level by the management, it makes an immense difference to how they feel they're accepted and thought of, and I think it created another family type feeling. St. Luke's has always been very much like a family. I mean, the whole way we operate, from the administration through the board to the musicians, is like a family. And I think that carried through to Caramoor in a really lovely way, that they were acknowledged and accepted and loved, and that was really important, is really important.